Before I start this video, I want to say I think silver is my color. I think I have to slowly make the transition into silver because I put on a silver chain with this top, and let me tell you, it popped off of my skin. It looks so nice. But anyway, let's get into the video. Trini BK. It has been a year since I've been working at USPS, guys, a whole year. And let me tell you, a lot has happened. I had a lot of ups, a lot of downs during this year. I just want to talk about it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just to talk about it a little bit. Let me tell you something. One thing about my job, it is not boring. That's what I am very grateful for. I do not like boring jobs. I don't like when the time drags on the job. I can't stand that. So because it's not a boring job, I have to be present in the job. Mind, soul, spirit, and body. I have to be there, which is really good because, you know, sometimes you have the tendency, especially if you're in your feelings about something, to just think away on something and really get all into it and be all, you know, I'm not allowed to do that because my work ethic is A1, you know what I mean? I can't allow myself to lax off on the job. If I was lazy, yeah, I would lax off. I would probably mope around. I may do this, do that here and there, and just think about all kind of stuff. Not a chance. As soon as my mind start wandering, something happens on the job to just draw me back into the job. So I have to be present in my job. So my job comes as a really, really good distraction, let me tell you. So I'm grateful for that, a real good distraction, because I have to be there 100% to do my job to the way that I like to do my job. You know what I mean? My work ethic, A1. I don't slack off. I'm usually where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be. I mean, here and there, a girl gotta, you know, here and there. But for the most part, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I do what I'm supposed to be doing. I do the job correctly. You know what I mean? And I work. So I have to be there 100%. No laxing off. So I'm glad about that in my job. And that's what I notice about it. And also, I've noticed that I'm still a PSC. I haven't turned over to get like the real full benefits of the job just yet, but it's coming, and you guys will be the first to know. I'm gonna tell you that much. But I noticed that there's people who've been there for years and years and still don't do, or would not do, or cannot do some of the things that I do as a PSC. It's ridiculous. I've came across a few people. I'm like, oh, you don't know how to do. Nah, I know I don't do. I'm like, interesting. But I do it. I know how to do it. I have to do it. You know? So I've noticed that about the job. Like, it's weird. It's like, how are you there so long and you can't do that? You know what I mean? But the more I learn, the better for me, because there's a lot when I tell you there's a lot to learn in what I do and out, there's a lot to learn, and I'm open to learn. I'm open to, you know, take that information in. Like last night when I was working on the machine, right? A supervisor came. I should have asked the supervisor what this mail is for, but I was so caught up doing what I was doing. They just came, dropped the mail, looked at me, and bounced. I was like, okay. So I had a partner coming down to the end of the night. I had a partner. So I'm like, what to do with these checks? Because I was working on a machine with 2 zip codes. I'm like, there was 2, stacks of checks. So people's checks. So I'm like, what to do with these? He was like, put it in the certified mail. Now, I didn't know that. I probably would have thrown it in with the carrier route, but now going forward, I know that the checks will go, if anything, at the end with the certified mail, because that's the residue and certified. I know you guys probably wouldn't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just saying that I did not know that, and that's like basic stuff. And I mean, that's like a basic thing. I'm like, okay, so now I know. You know what I mean? Going down the line is just so much things to learn and to know. So I know that I'm willing and I'm open to learn about like everything that I need. I'm just gonna take in information and retain information, because I don't know if I'm gonna still be at this position in the post office. Like, I can move around so much as long as I, turn over. I can do so much. It's a big place, you know what I mean? So yes, another thing that I notice is, like, I'm usually never bored, usually never really lonely per se, you know what I'm saying? um I never really complain about being bored. I will complain about something being boring, but I never really complain about being bored, because I pretty much entertain myself. I've been doing it since I was a child. My only brother is 6 years older than me, so he always had his own thing going on with his own friends. So I had to, like, entertain myself a lot, right? So I'm used to entertaining myself and to doing things with myself and things like that. But I've noticed I only have, like, one really close person that I talk to on my job. When she's not there, I'm pretty much solo molo. I say hi and might hold a little quick conversation with people, but pretty much I'm solo, and it gets lonely. Here why? And this is kind of weird, because I never thought like this would happen. Like, when I'm alone, I do my thing. But when I'm around, because it's a big place that I work in, right? I vlogged in there already. You guys get the idea of how the place is. When I'm on work, surrounded by so much people that I don't connect with and I don't vibe with and I don't talk to, it gets kind of lonely. I don't know if you guys will understand what I'm saying, but it gets kind of lonely. Like, all these people and I'm not talking to anyone. I mean, it doesn't bother me really, but I've noticed that. I have definitely noticed that. Like, I could be alone for like weeks at a time by myself, but once I'm around a set of people and I'm just like, it gets kind of weird. It gets kind of weird. Let me know if you understand what I mean down in the comments, right? It gets kind of weird. And I find myself some days like enjoying my job. I was like, my job is not a hard job. It's physically demanding, as I've said in the past, but it's not like a hard job to learn. Once you get hands-on with it, it's just kind of like repetition. You know what I mean? So it's not really a hard job. Let me tell you, when I came back from New Jersey, my body was not having it. It was like them 6 days off was just, I was rested, you know what I mean? My body was relaxed and chill for those 6 days. So when I went back to work, my body gave me a hard time, I'll say that much, because it's very physical. But some days I really do enjoy my job. Like, if I work in with somebody that pull in their own weight, I see myself, and I'm in a good headspace, I see myself like really enjoying my job. So that's really good, you know what I mean? Some days are better than some, I would say. But some days, like, I'm talking about this in this video right now because I think that was, when was it? I was sweeping out the mail. I think it was Saturday. Was it Saturday? I can't remember what day it was. But I was sweeping out the mail and I had a good, it was Saturday. I had a good flow going and I was just like enjoying it, bro. Like, I was enjoying it. And it came to me, I'm like, oh, am I enjoying this? Yeah, babe, you are. So, yeah, some days I really do enjoy what I do. So that's good. When you could, it's just like the worst thing ever to have a job to go to that you hate. That is something that's bringing in money and you have to go and you hate it. That's not right. That's not right. That ain't it. I've been very fortunate, like, throughout my life, the jobs that I have had, I've never hated any of my jobs, and I have been fortunate to have like supervisors and bosses that were nice to me. Some people have some real nasty bosses and stuff like that, you know what I mean, to deal with every day. They have nasty co-workers to deal with every day, and that's a nightmare, because as I said, you gotta go, you know what I mean, until you change your job or something like that. You just gotta go because you gotta make that money. So that's, I'm really glad that I'm not in that position. I mean, there's people in the job that I'm not gonna speak on, and I'm fortunate that I don't really bump heads with them too often. So that's good, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I go to work and I get put on a machine with somebody and I'm like, hey, ho, hey. Other times I get put on a machine with somebody and I'm like, oh, you know, you know. So yeah, it just have different types of people and stuff like that. And if you're this kind of person, even though it's a big place, you can definitely just go hide out. That's what I do when I'm alone. I just go hide out. As a summertime, I go outside and I just be in my own zone. Sometimes I go in the locker room, pull out my chair, and I be in my own zone. You know what I mean? You could definitely do that. You could definitely just screen everything out and just be in your own zone. You could definitely do that as well. But my 1 year on the job, incident free, you know. Incident free. I mean, I had, you know, a couple of hiccups here and there with some people, but I'm not a bacchanalist, so I don't entertain that in my life. So I just ignore people and I ignore things a lot, you know. So, and I just be myself. And I'm not that friendly of a person. I'm not a people person. I'm not, you know, hey, I know I'm a good person, but I be myself. You know what I mean? I just be myself. I just come to work, do my job, and I leave. I do my little overtime here and there so they could see that I'm doing my little overtime. Nobody could bother me about that. And so nobody could bother me about that. And that's it. You know, I just do what I have to do. Go to work on time, do what I have to do, and leave. You know what I mean? So, I'll see how the next year treats me if I do stay here, because life change. You know what I'm saying? I can't see the future and say that, okay, next year this time I'm gonna make a video, tell you guys how my second year went. I can't do that because I don't know what's gonna happen throughout this year. I claim great things and good things in my life, but you know, I could be somewhere even better in this coming year. You know what I mean? And I'm open to it. So we shall see. That was my year video working at the USPS as a PSC, mail processing clerk. And I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I hope you guys are in a great space in your life right now. As you watch this video, I wish all the blessings and peace and everything onto you. Manifest it. Manifest. Love that show. Bring it into your life. Be open about it and have a positive mindset. You know what I mean? So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Later, Jays.